Matty Johns, good to have you back on the show and back home safe from Mount Everest. Things got tough over there because we went, it's not like you're going all the way to the top and, it's the base camp and everything like that. But how tough did it actually get over there?
Pagey, we underestimated it. There's no doubt about that. Because you hear so much of it going to base camp. Altitude is, until you've experienced it, you don't really realise how difficult it was. When there were so many little hurdles to overcome. When we arrived in Kathmandu, so you arrived at Kathmandu, it was late at night, and we're all absolutely spent, and our bags didn't turn up. And you're just going, our bags are lost. So what are we going to do? So the next morning we picked up to start. So all these things were just chaotic. Luckily, the next morning, next night it was, our bags turned up and we were okay. But we're going to do different stories about what happened there. But if we go to the second last day, the day when we reached base camp, our goal, and on that day, we're at 5,000. Well, base camp's at 5,000, about 5,300. And that day to get there, we trekked all in all 16 kilometres. So when you're trekking 16,
uphill.
Most of it uphill, MG, and it's not just a steady climb. It's climbing over rocks. It's things like it's watching every step. It's as mentally tiring as it is physically tiring. And we got to base camp. Everyone's sort of celebrating in a really, really good mood. But mate, we're that tired. Remember thinking there, mate, we've got to turn around and get back to our base.
Oh, so you don't get picked up?
No, you
there,
don't.
Or?
It's base camp's very, very plain Jane. Turn up there. It's just get a photo Everest base, then you turn around and you leave. And we on the trek back, we got to the last kilometre, and I knew there was going to be a problem because you're with Kurt Gidley, and Kurt Gidley is about 3 weeks retired from rugby league, one of the fittest players to ever play the game. And I looked at him on that last kilometre walk back, and he was like a ghost. His eyes were rolling in the back of his head, and I thought, well, if he's like that, how are some of the other boys and some of the older blokes that are on the trip that have had double knee replacements? So we get back to our base at the tea house, and there's a couple of things you've got to look out for with altitude sickness and people that are affected. Firstly is the fact like fatigue, and they start to look really glazed, but also the other one is they get quite start talking gibberish, become quite flippant in their conversation. I went back to the room with my roomie, Crowie, Steve Crow, and Crowie was sort of talking, and I was thinking, mate, this is not like him. Wow. It's a bit strange. Anyway, he said, Matty, I'm tired, I'm going to lay down and have a sleep. And I said, I'll come back and get you about an hour before dinner. When I went to the tea house, suddenly I saw blokes like Jamie Forbes, the tripod, Forbesy, and he was dead behind the eyes, and he wasn't talking at all. For him, mate, he's just a warrior, Forbesy. For him not to be talking. Then all of a sudden, a couple of the other guys sort of started going down. One of the guys vomited and collapsed. And we're going, wow. And I thought, I better go check on Crowie. So I went back and said to Crowie, mate, get up half an hour before dinner, and mate, we've got a bit of a presentation to our guides. Yeah, Matty, mate, when he got there, when he came into the tea house, everyone knew he was in trouble. No sooner did he got there that he sort of hit the ground again, and they laid him down in the corner. He went to sleep, and they put oxygen on him.
Jesus.
So things got really heavy there. 4 of the guys, they went by chopper to Kathmandu Hospital.
You coughed up blood at one stage?
Well, what happened there, MG, that was the second last day. The last day was optional. So the last day, the goal is Everest Base Camp, but then they offer you another option where you go to about 550, which is Kalapatan. Kalapatan's very special.
How much higher
because
is that than you'd gone?
Probably about 350, about for another 400 higher than we'd gone. Yeah. Which doesn't sound a lot, Gus, but, mate, every 100 metres is...
That's vertical metres.
Yeah. That's very, very hard, Pagey. Anyway... what's special about Kalapatan, it gives you the best view of Everest, the peak. And if you leave at 4 a.m, you get there for sunrise on Everest. And I spoke to Danny Medeiros and a few of the guys the night before, and they said that I'm not going to do it. But then I'm laying there, and I was struggling to sleep. And I heard the chief get up, and how do you say no to the chief? Exactly. So the chief gets ready. There were 6 of us decided we'd trek, and we'd sort of believed that it was just a little bonus and it was just a stroll to the top of the hill. But mate, it was, it's the hardest thing I've ever done physically in my life by a mile. It took us, I think, about 2.25 hours to get to the top. But every step along the way, it got to the point, the last 100 metres or so, you take 10 steps and you need to sit down. You're so spent, you're gone. And we got there. Yeah, the views were fantastic, but what the overwhelming feeling was, I'm exhausted. I just want to get back down to the bottom. What's really important when you're up there is that you drink plenty of water, because it's water that carries oxygen through the blood. And about halfway up, I reached for my water bottle, and it's just a block of ice. It's frozen because it's about minus 15 degrees.
So you didn't have any water?
So, yeah, you're starting to taste, you're tasting blood. Chief's young bloke, halfway up, this is what happened. Chief's young bloke, Daniel, I tip my hat to him, mate, 15-year-old boy, and it said the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because he was just a warrior the whole way through. He was sick. He was physically sick, and that was my out. I said, Dan, your dad's going to keep going to the top. I'll take you back down. I was looking for an out. And Chief grabbed me and said, Chimpy, we're going all the way to the top. And, mate,
wow.
And how do you say no to the Chief when a bloke who's who's had knee replacements? Watching him, right, this is Chief making his way back down from Calipatan. He was having to walk backwards most of the way because of his knees.
So much pain.
So much pain, but he did it. And so, it was people... As I said before, when you're up there, you got the view of Everest, you got the old Paramount Pictures photo there, which is perfect. All these mountains around you, but I tell you, it's bloody hard to enjoy it. It really is. My wife said to me, "What's it like?" And I said, "Well, I asked her. I said, what's childbirth like?" And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I bet you it's a very spiritual thing, one of the greatest things you've ever done, but you're saying that in hindsight. When you're in the midst of it, it's no fun at all." And I'll be honest with you, that's what it was like. Oh. When you're in the midst of it, amongst all the boys, there were 28 of us, and they said, "Look, if 20 of you get there to base camp, you have done extremely well." We all 28 got there.
Wow.
But a few of the boys were very lucky. But
especially the demons in the mine were playing havoc with you.
MG, when you're going up hills, a lot of times, I reckon mentally it's easier because physically it's so hard and you've got something to take your mind off it. When it flattens out and you're walking for an hour just on flat ground, suddenly, mate, you're right, all the head noise, all the demons start coming in. At times, you go for about 5 minutes where you're feeling really good. You go, "Oh, this is great. I'm going to love this." But then all of a sudden, demons start taking over and you're going, "I don't know if I can do this." How's everyone going at home?
Yeah.
How are the boys? How are Trish?
Wow.
Is everything okay? No news is coming through. What if something happens? All these terrible things. So, but the bottom line is this: we've raised over $500,000 for the Mark Hughes Foundation into brain cancer. So that's the most important thing. But
well done.
They describe Everest as a once in a lifetime. I back that up. I'm never going again. I'm done.
Yeah.
And never flying Yeti Air again either.
The Grill Team, Gus, MG, and Matty Johns.